Hi Sachit, welcome to NEXWEB podcast.
Hi, Srishti. Thank you very much for having me.
Sachit, this week I have been watching your social media platform and I have found that you have been explaining about PT scenario in details and I personally loved your content and congratulations for hitting 34.1k followers on TikTok and 5.3k subscribers on YouTube. That's a huge
Thank you.
achievement.
Thank you. Yeah, for TikTok, I started TikTok before TikTok was there. So when I started using it, it was Musically before. So Musically changed into TikTok. So it has been a long journey for TikTok. But YouTube, I started into 2021, and then I worked out on YouTube for 1 year. After that, I haven't made any recent videos. So like it has been stuck. The subscriber in YouTube, it has been stuck since a long time because I haven't made any new videos in YouTube. I'm more active in TikTok these days. Yeah.
Yeah, I was watching your YouTube video and it was only 35 videos. I just counted.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
from 35 videos, you were able to get 5.23 subscribers. Like, it's a huge achievement, Sachit.
Yeah.
Sachit, you are an agriculture scientist, and how did you came up with the idea to become a PT tutor?
So that's a pretty good question. Yeah. So I was working in a farm in Armidale, New South Wales, as an agricultural scientist for sure. And while I was working, I was not too satisfied with my job, and then I needed to do PTE for PR pathway and that sort of stuff. So I did, and then I needed ISBAN 8, right? So I tried it for the first time, but I couldn't get it, and then I tried again. So I had to do intensive study. I learned very, like the new techniques, not the old one, the traditional one. So I learned from different online platforms, and those techniques that I learned were pretty interesting. And then that really helped me to get 90 out of 90 in PTE. And then I thought, since I was struggling to get 90 out of 90, because I thought I was good at study, but I really had to struggle to get 90 out of 90. But then there are so many students who are actually struggling just like me, or who are, like they have been giving their attempts many times than I did. So I thought, let's help them out. So I started making videos in TikTok first, and then the first three students I taught them for free, and then I thought, oh, let's make money out of it. So I started teaching, and then my first student, I charged only $20, and that was online from a Messenger. You can't even imagine. I taught first three students from Messenger, and I taught them whole PT from Messenger, and I only charged them $20 because that was just a start, and I didn't know how to do it. So that was just a start, and that was a trial, and then I started online classes via Zoom. So that's how I started. I get into it just to help students because I knew how hard I had to struggle during the PT journey, and I know PT, like they have to get like a skill assessment for nursing. Those students who want to study nursing, they have to get PTE, and for skill assessment, cookery, and other courses, and for PR pathway, there are many students who needs PT, and they have been giving PT like multiple times, 6 7 times. Even I know one of my friend who did PT for 7 times, and during the 8th time only he got his desired score. So that clicked me, and I thought that I can really help these people who are really struggling. That's why I went into this journey, and I started with a part-time role. I was doing only one session a day during my free time. That's how I started. First time I gave PTE was in 2015. That was back in Nepal when I applied for the student visa.
Okay.
2015 was the year when PT was introduced first time in Nepal. So at that time we had no templates, no format, and nothing. I knew nothing about PTE. I studied about IELTS from YouTube, and then I increased my English language capacity, and then with that English language skill, I appeared for PT test. And even in writing, PT writing essay, they have got like word count from 200 to 300. I didn't know that in essay and TOEFL, this I think the word count is 400. So I thought it was the same. So at that time I wrote 399 word count. When like in PT writing essay, the word count is 200 to 300. So, and I didn't have any templates at all. So there was no template, there was no format, but I still did. And at that time in 2015, I got ISBAN 7 from Nepal. That was my first time. Then I came here, and when I was applying for TR, I applied. I did PT in 2018, and then in 2021, I had to apply for PR. At that time, I did first time trying to get ISBAN 8, and was unsuccessful. Second time, I hit state 90. So that was the second time.
How long you have been teaching PT and how many students have you successfully helped till now?
I started in 2021, so I would say it's been like 2 years. And the thing is that for most of the time, I was only doing it part time because I had a full time job as an agriculture scientist, and I had to work for my PR pathways as well. So I was working full time, and then I even used to work on the weekends. So I used to work 7 days a week, and during my free time in the evening time, I used to do one sessions a week, and I had like few limited. student number. So it's been 2 years, and I have really helped lots and lots of students. But if you can see, if you can watch my TikTok videos, I think the success story is up to 165, 66 something. But those are only those students who gave me their score. Most of the students, they don't want me to display their names and display the scores, so I don't post them against their concern, privacy concern. And most of the students, their target is band 6 or is band 6.5 for skill assessment of cookery or for TR pathway. So those students who got is band 7 or above, those are the score sheet which I have posted in my social media only. So there are so many other students who were targeting for is band 50, and I have helped them for sure. And apart from that, those students that I personally taught, there are other students who have actually got the score watching just my TikTok and YouTube videos. So I used to get lots and lots of messages. I still get lots of messages in TikTok saying that, okay, hey brother, thanks for your videos. Your videos really helped me. I didn't have to join any classes. I just watched the video and learn all the skills and techniques, and I got my score. And they send me the score, but I don't post them because they are not my direct student, but they did get the score from the techniques that I was sharing in TikTok. And the main reason that I started sharing the techniques in TikTok is to those students who can't join classes, who can't join, like expensive classes. Some students, like, let me be fair, like there are some students who has got like a weak English background, and there are some who are okay with English. So those students who are good in English or who are okay with English, they can simply learn the technique. They just need to know, okay, these are the techniques I need to follow, and they can simply crack it. So my TikTok videos has helped those students. But those sort of students who come to me, they are like, most of the students like huge academic background, or let's say they don't have any, they are not so good at English speaking abilities, and those are the students that I personally help with feedbacks, constructive feedbacks, and continuous feedback. And the other thing is that so one of the best qualities of our classes is once the student enroll with us, I will help them until they get the score. So there are certain students with I have been helping like 9 months, and even students who were enrolled with me last year, due to some circumstances, they don't give exam, or like they don't get their score, but they still keep in touch with me. They still send me message in WhatsApp, and then I still help them with feedbacks and stuff like that. They send me their recordings, and they send me their attempts like essay, summarize written text, and stuff like that. And they ask me, I don't know what I'm going wrong. I did a mock test, but I scored low. Can you help me? And I call them and I tell them like these are the things you need to sort out. So even those students who studied with me last year, they are still in touch with me, and I still keep helping them. So our motto is that once a student, always a student. That's my main principle.
Sachin, I have seen students really confused on PT marking criteria, such as even if they get each band 6, 7, 8, but they
Mm-hmm.
won't be able to receive overall score, and they are
Mm-hmm.
really confused on those bands. Like, what's the reason behind it, and does the university or immigration accept those score?
That's a pretty good question. And many students have been asking me that, but that doesn't sound like logical. Like when we think it from our end, like let's say, for example, any student got is band 7, is band 65. They have got speaking, writing, reading, listening 65, 65, 66, 67, but the overall score can be 64. And the reason is the enabling skills, because in PTE, it's not just writing and reading. There are certain enabling skills which work from the background. So they are like grammar skills and spelling, vocabulary, written discourse. So these are pronunciation. These are some of the enabling skills. If you are lacking these skills, let's say you have got good score in writing, but you did lots of spelling mistakes, you can still get score in writing and listening. If you have good content, which is keywords, you can still get a good score. But if you have poor spelling skill, then your overall score will be dragged down, it will be pulled down. So that enabling skills affects your overall score. And let's say, for example, someone wants to study nursing. The university criteria says that the university requirement says that student has to have is band 7 and overall 7. That means with a score of is band 65 but overall 64, university will not accept those students. But let's say someone wants to apply for skill assessment or for PR pathway. So if you can check in the immigration website, it clearly says that you need is band 7. That's it. I called Department of Home Affairs by myself, and they put me on hold, of course. And then I asked that question, and they run through different departments. They hold me for like 30 minutes. And finally, they told me that as long as the student has is band 7, that's fine. They can claim the 10 points, which is, like the proficient English language testing, which they get 10 points for PR application. So students who has got is band 65 but overall 64 can still claim 10 points, according to Department of Home Affairs.
So during your teaching journey, like what sort of challenges do you see on students? Like which section is the hardest for them?
I think from my personal experience of teaching, I think students are struggling in reading section, and even that's where I struggle as well. So when I told you that first time of my target, when I was targeting for East Band 8, I couldn't smash it. So at that time I got 90 in all, but my reading score was 78. So I missed out by 1 point. But that was a good thing because next time when I did it again, I got 1990, which was a good thing. From my personal experience, most of the students they are struggling with reading because reading is not easy. Like you can't simply follow one trick or one template and get a score. Speaking, you can. There is a way how to crack PT. Like it's AI scores. So there's a way how to crack PT. Writing, you can follow templates and you can get keywords that will give you marks per content. And listening, it's easy. I think listening is one of the easiest section in PT for me. Yeah. So reading, because there are so many skills that you need to learn actually. So you need to have some grammar skills, you need to have some vocabulary skills, you need to have some common sense as well. So most of the fill in the blanks we can actually solve just by using the common sense. You just have to read the passage and then you have to create a story in your head. And then you can directly say, okay, this is the word that's gonna fit in here because this, according to this word, aligns with the story that's in my head. So you just have to align that. And reorder paragraph, you should know about reorder paragraph. That's to be really honest, I think reorder paragraph is one of the hardest sections in overall PTE because no matter how good you are, you will surely mess up somewhere in one of the questions. There might be so many hard questions in reorder paragraph, question bank or whatever. Any PT tutor, I'm 100% sure any PT tutor will, like lag or, oh, I'm confused in this question. Anyone will have some confusion at any point in your paragraph. Of course, there's a way how to do it. And to be honest, I'm going to make one video about your paragraph. There's something in my head already about your paragraph. Again, there are so many strategies. There are so many skills that you can learn. There are tricks and tips for reading as well, for which I think it's better if you join an online class with a tutor and learn from the tutor. So yeah, I think reading will be one of the hardest sections, yeah, for students specifically.
Like while talking with some of the students, they said that while practicing from the PT website, there are some prediction questions. Suppose you are giving the exam on July and you practice the questions from July or August, like there are some prediction question, and people say that when you give the exam at that period, there will be some repeated question on the exam. Like, is it true?
That's right. That's right. So even after I scored 90, I have given PT multiple times just to keep me updated of the changes of the marking criteria. And regarding your question about the repetition, so repetition is real in PTE. Repetition is real, and not only from the prediction file, but also from the questions that are in the practice websites. There might be 20 to 30% repetition from my experience and from the experience of my students. Because whenever my students give exam, I ask them like, did you get any questions repeated in the examination hall, which you practiced, and according to their experience and according to my experience, I have found that 20 to 30% questions are repeated from the practice websites and from the prediction file. So but I never followed prediction file because when I was practicing, I was trying to make myself stronger rather than relying on a prediction file. I was relying on myself. So that's my main that's another thing that I tell my students: try to gain confidence. Practice. Don't practice thinking that, okay, this question will come in examination. If you have that mindset, maybe you are unlucky, right? Maybe you are unlucky, so you won't get any questions repeated. Even if you get some questions repeated, you were practicing PT since 1 month. Can you remember any question that you practiced 1 month ago? No way, man. There's no way you can remember any question that you practiced 1 month ago. So there will be repetition, but that might not help you. That might not help you. So always focus on your confidence. If you are confident, then there's no question that can't, like, you can't win. So, but according to repetition, there will be 20 to 30% repetition. Yes.
When a student is appearing a PT exam, there is a psychology of students, like some people may find a repeated question and they may feel more excited and they may miss some section, and some may feel completely low because they are not having the repeated question. Like what suggestion do you want to give to those students who are suffering from this psychology?
I'll tell you what. If there is any sections that might benefit you from repetition, that's repeat sentence, which is in speaking, repeat sentence. That will actually benefit you if the question that you practice come in the examination, because you will be hearing that sentence for the second time. write from dictation. These two are like hardest questions, one of the hardest questions, and these two questions give you like lots of score for speaking, listening, and writing. So write from dictation and repeat sentence. If they are repeated, that will actually help you. But where people are like like they are getting the wrong sense is that if the reading fill in the blanks, let's say fill in the blanks, if the fill in the blanks is repeated, that will help you. That might not help you, because this, I'm telling this from my own experience. You might get the same question, but the blank, they will replace the blank. Do you know what I mean? So there's the fill in the
Yeah.
blanks, right? Let's say there's the reading fill in the blanks, there are blanks in certain words. You practice that question. The same question might come in examination, but what PT will do is, instead of having the blank, let's say there's a climate change and the blank is in the word climate, and you practice, okay, climate change, but they will keep the blank in elsewhere, up in other part of the sentences. So the question will be same, the text will be same, the paragraph will be same, but the blank will be in a different spot. And then you are thinking, okay, I practiced this question and the right answer is climate change, but in the box is in a different area, and you can't fit climate in there, and you don't have any options called climate. You know what I mean? So that is also repetition, right? The same question is repeated, but the boxes are in different spot. So reading fill in the blanks, let's say, even if it's repeated, that might not help you. And what I keep telling my students is that, especially in reading section, in fill in the blanks, logic is more important than the keyword. So let's say the question that you practice, exactly the same question with the same box came in the examination with the same blank, but then again you practiced that question 1 month ago, there is no way you can remember that word, and you keep thinking, oh, what was the word, you try to memorize, but the thing is that we are not memory king, we can't remember everything. And then you don't focus on logic, you just focus on, oh, what was the word, you try to think, but you don't try to think what is the right answer, what is the right logic. It's the same experience as, let's say for example, we are in school, we are giving examination, I have got like cheat in like a paper, I have got some cheating, it's in my pocket, the same question come in examination, I know the answer but I don't want to think, because I've got the cheat code, I've got the cheat. So instead of thinking, I'll just take it and write it, like from the cheat code. So that's how our human brain works. Even if I know the answer, I don't want to think, I don't want to stress my brain, because I've got the cheating. So same principle works. So if I see a question that is repeated, I'll try to think what is the right answer. Instead of thinking, I'll try to memorize what was the answer when I practiced this. I'll try to memorize that, instead of thinking, okay, logically what is the right thing. So people don't think that way, and that's where we miss out. That's one of the important thing. Section that you have to do time management is reading, because in reading section, the sections don't have the individual timing. Just like, let's say for example, essay, you have got 20 minutes. In summarized written text, you have got 10 minutes. For each speaking section, you have got like individual time, 25 seconds, 40 seconds, or stuff like that. But in reading section, you have overall time of around 30 minutes. So in that 30 minutes, you have to finish all the sections. So if you spend more time doing MCQs, which carry just 1%, then you miss out fill in the blanks, which carry 25%. That's one. The other one is in the listening section as well. So a listening section is divided into two parts. One is summarized spoken text, which has got 10 minutes. The rest of the 7 sections has got around 22 to 23 minutes. So in that 23, let's say 23 minutes. In that 23 minutes, you have to finish all 7 sections. And there are sections which are not important as well. Let's say in listening MCQ, you got, oh, MCQ, okay, I think I know the answer, 1%. At the end, there is right from dictation, which carry 30% for listening, 27% for listening, 30% for writing, which is the highest for both listening and writing. That section is right from dictation, which is at the end. And we get 3 to 4 questions in the examination. Let's say you miss one question, you just missed 33.33%. Right? So let's say if you're getting three questions, and you were spending your time in MCQ, which carry 1%, you will miss out one of the questions, because you didn't do time management properly. You might not get right from dictation at all, because you ran out of time, you don't have any time to get the question. So right from dictation has 3 questions, let's say for example 3 to 4, but let's say you are getting 3 questions, you did 2 questions, and then the time is ended, the time is done, but you can't do the third question. So if you think it as 100%, 3 questions equals to 100%, one question equals to 33.33%. So you didn't do one question at all because of the time issue. So you just missed out 33.33%. There's no way you can get ISBAN 65 just by solving 2 questions, because you are not 100% sure that both of these 2 questions you did it 100% right. You might have missed out a few words. So you are missing point in the questions that you did, and you are missing 100% of the marks in the question that you missed. So it's pretty critical, this time management issue in reading and listening. That's very, very important. That's a very good thing students should keep in mind while practicing. Yes.
So that on your social media platform, I saw your students thanking you for sharing the PT content on social media platform. Like, what do you think? Like, can a student achieve their desired score by just watching the social media platform and practicing through the TikToks, YouTube contents?
That's I wouldn't say for everyone, but that will definitely help to most of the students who has got good English background or academic background. Because as I said, students who are good in English or good at academic background or who are continuously studying. Let's say I'm a student, so I have got good routine of studying, right? So for those students, they just need a technique, and that technique they can definitely find it in my TikTok. So they can simply learn from TikTok and YouTube videos, and they can get some technique. And they have got a base, they have got a strong base which is academic, so and that aligns, then that will definitely help to get the score. But again, for those students who has got, like, let's say 16 years of gap, that's the highest. So for one of for me, the students with highest academic gap is 16 years. That's the best that I had done so far. So 16 years of academic gap, no study for 16 years, then your brain starts to deteriorate, like, to be really honest, because your brain functions according to how much practice we do, right? If I'm speaking English every day, my brain is sharpening. But if I don't speak English for, like, let's say 2 years, I just speak Nepalese, Nepali, I don't speak English for 2 years, then I might say, oh yeah, you come here, I go there. My English will turn into like a disaster. So for 16 years, if you don't study for 16 years, just a TikTok video might not help. At that time, you need a professional help, and you need to seek out a PT tutor, because you will need feedbacks as well. So feedback is the most tricks and techniques, you can find it anywhere. But even if you are learning the tricks and tricks and you are not getting your score, the problem is with feedbacks, because you are not getting the right feedback. You are practicing, let's say, 100 questions a day, but what if you are practicing the wrong technique? There is no one to tell you, okay, this is wrong. If you don't have anyone to tell you this is wrong, you will continue in the wrong direction. So you need feedback. So at that case, if you did PT for the first time, learning from YouTube videos, and you got a score, good. If you don't get your score, at that time you need to seek professional help, and you need to join online classes for those students. For those students who has got long academic gap, I would strongly recommend to join classes. Yes.
So that how challenging was you as a PT tutor for training that student who had a long year of academic gap?
That's I had a really big challenge at that time. So one of my that student who had like 16 years gap, he didn't score. His target was band 7, and he didn't score in the first attempt. He had to try for the third time. So he did first time, and he got 50, and then he tried again, and he got like a little bit more than 50, and then in the third try he got his band 7. But that was like
Wow.
he had to struggle really hard, and he had, like, like kids and stuff like that. So family time, he had a full-time job. So I told him that what is more important, your job or PT score? And he says PT score. All right, just get a sick leave or whatever, annual leave or whatever from your job. Stay at home for 1 week before the test date and do intensive study, because that helped me. So that will help you. So intensive study is one of the best technique for those students who are really struggling. But what is intensive study? Take 1 week off, stay at home, and apart from like eating or whatever, cooking, eating, just study. Focus on nothing else, just study, study, study for a whole day, for a week. Definitely you will get a score. Even if your target is 79 plus or 65 plus, and you are struggling since many years, that will definitely help, because that helped me. So why won't it help you? That's a very good technique. So yeah, so that was one suggestion that I gave to him. But it was a big challenge, because his basic English was, even like, he had a problem with understanding the words and keywords, understanding like what's a proper noun, or what sort of words can be keywords. So I had to train him a little bit more. I had to give him some extra time out of the classes as well. So I used to call him in WhatsApp and Messenger, and he used to show me his screen. So I gave him some extra effort, and he did send me a gift first. So that was my first gift someone sent it to me. So he did send me a gift, but yeah, he definitely got his score in the third attempt. That was good.
So that I have seen students like who were studying just for 1 week, and they were continuously studying for PT exam, and they had a throat pain, and they would not be able to attend the exam because of the throat issue. Like, what suggestion do you want to give to those students? How much time they should manage to study?
Before getting into that, I'll tell you, when I did my intensive study for 1 week, I had to eat Panadols. Every night I had to eat Panadols, because I was studying for a whole day. Like, just imagine sitting in front of computer for a whole day, I'll get headaches. So talking about throat pain, PT is not just speaking. So though that student who said that, oh, I've got a throat pain studying 1 week, I think she was focusing only on speaking. So what I tell my students, don't do speaking every day. We have to like mix and match the sections that you are practicing. Let's say I'm doing speak today. I'll do half of my day speaking and half of my day writing. Next day, half of my day reading, half of my day listening, and other day speaking and listening, other day writing and listening. So you have to manage that, because if you're doing speaking a whole day, of course, anyone's throat will be damaged, right? Anyone's throat will get throat pain if you are doing speaking for continuous 5 days. We have to manage that. So speaking and reading, reading and listening, speaking and writing. If you can manage the time and the sections that you are practicing properly, that will definitely help you. So that student who got like throat pain, definitely she was focusing, or he or she was focusing mainly on speaking, which I wouldn't recommend. Don't focus just on speaking. Speaking is not that hard. You just have to focus on the flow of your speech, and you can simply crack it. He or she should be focusing more on reading, fill in the blanks, because I think he or she, anyone would struggle in filling the blanks. So they should be focusing more on those sections than focusing just on speaking.
Sajid, how can people connect with you and how can people know about the courses you offer?
So as of now, I'm only doing online classes via Zoom for sure. So anyone who wants to reach out to me, they can simply search me anywhere. So even in TikTok profile, I've listed my email address and my number. So they can simply click on call button and my number will pop up. And they can simply click on email and my email will pop up. Or they can call me at 04522183340, which is my mobile number. And they can contact me in WhatsApp. And even I'm teaching students from Nepal and Japan and Korea, UK, not from USA, but I have students from UK, Japan, Korea. There was one recent student from Finland, Nepalese background, but who are residing in other countries as well. So even if you are not in Australia, you are living in other countries, they can definitely do online classes with me. That's the beauty of online class, right? You don't have to be here. So when I started teaching, I was in Armidale, which is a regional in New South Wales. That is 8 hours drive from Sydney. No one can come to Armidale to study face-to-face class with me. That's why I started online, and that was in COVID time. So I think it's still okay to study online. You don't have to be in front of a teacher. But just like this, right? So like Srishti and me, we are talking now. I'm looking at you. You're looking at me. If I have any questions, I can talk to you. I can ask you. So this is online. So online will definitely help. You don't have to go to face-to-face class just because you need a face-to-face. So anyone who are living any corner of the world, they can reach out to me in WhatsApp, the mobile number that I provided, or they can simply find me in YouTube and in TikTok. I've got my mobile number and email address everywhere, so they can contact me by WhatsApp, Messenger, TikTok. They can even message me in TikTok or Facebook, yeah, whatever. Yeah.
Sajid, thank you so much for your time and hope I will see the successful story on social media platform of PT with Sachit MALLA. Thank you so much for your time, Sajid.
No worries. Thank you very much for having me, Srishti. I wish you all the best as well. Thank you.